My name is Kevin Jackwitz. This is the Kaged Review, and this is a review for WWE SummerSlam 2018. I know we're a few weeks removed from it. I'm still catching up on all my wrestling stuff, so I'm going to condense this as much as I can. The pre-show starts out with Andrade Cien Almas with Zelina Vega versus Rusev and Lana. I really don't know that this was a great match to start out with. I'm really kind of a fan of Andrade. He's very athletic, but this doesn't really showcase it in this match. So the short version is Andrade and Zelina get the win. It really wasn't a lot to sell me with. Charlie Caruso interviews Paul Heyman backstage. He's selling Brock Lesnar, of course. You get a backstage Kurt Angle, Page, Drake Maverick, Baron Corbin bit where Kurt Angle, Page, and Drake Maverick are all talking buddy-buddy. Baron Corbin comes in. He starts making comments to Kurt Angle. Page starts making comments to Baron Corbin about how he lost his cash-in. And then he just leaves, and the other three are laughing at him. Then you get Cedric Alexander versus Drew Gulak. There was a part in this match that I really didn't like, and that was Gulak drops Alexander wrong and kind of fucks him up. And it was a little bit sloppy at the end, too. I usually like the cruiserweights because, you know, the fast-paced action and stuff like that is very awe-inspiring. But I really feel like there were too many off parts of this match and too many sloppy parts of this match to call it a good match. I really was not a fan. Cedric Alexander picks up the win, but at the end of the day, I was not a fan of this. Panel interview, Samoa Joe comes up and he's talking about, you know, what he's going to do to AJ Styles and blah, blah, blah. Samoa Joe is always good at promos. He really is. He's absolutely amazing at them, I think, and it sells. Then you get the Revival versus the B-Team versus the Raw Tacking Championship Match, and the Revival hasn't done much, and the B-Team I just cannot get behind. I cannot say that this is somebody that deserves a championship. Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel are low mid-carders, and deservedly so. And the fact that they are now tag team champions really says something about the tag team division and the state of the WWE as a whole. B-Team come away with a win, sloppily, of course. They have these stupid scripts where they just, you know, happen chance to find a way to win every match, and it makes everybody else look weak and stupid. So I don't like it. I don't like the gimmick. I don't like the writing. I don't like the wrestling. So I was not a fan of this. I just wasn't. Now we get into the main show. And I gotta say, I was really expecting this to be a stinker of a show. Everything that has been built up to this, I honestly just have not fucking liked. The show itself, I gotta say, was a little bit better than I thought it was going to be. And we'll get into that. So it starts out with this Terry Crews opening. I don't know, kind of interesting, but whatever. The first match of the night is Seth Rollins with Dean Ambrose versus Dolph Ziggler with Drew McIntyre. This is kind of building up, you know, kind of a Shield thing again, you can tell. So Seth Rollins picks up the win over Dolph Ziggler. It was a pretty good match throughout, and they did have segments where, of course, Drew tried to get involved, and then Dean Ambrose would cut him off at the pass, and that was fine. I had no problems with any of that. Decent match for what it was, for sure, and I liked the outcome. So there's that part. Then you get a backstage interview with Nikki and Brie Bella. Promoting their fucking show. Get the fuck out of here with that shit. That's all I'm going to say about that. The New Day, Big E and Xavier Woods goes up against Luke Harper and Eric Rowan. Pretty good match throughout. I usually like the New Day matches. They're usually very entertaining, especially when Xavier Woods is involved. That guy I just fucking think is phenomenal. At the end of a good match, it gets a DQ with the Bludgeon Brothers. They bring out their mallets. And I don't know that I really care either way about how they ended it. You know, Luke and Eric are monsters. They look the part. They're big, badass guys. In a way, it was kind of cheap because it made the big guys look weak and they had to resort to their mallets, but I'm not going to complain, really. So it is what it is. It was an entertaining match. Kevin Owens versus Braun Strowman. This was an absolute squash match. Braun Strowman runs right over Kevin Owens. He had zero offense. Braun Strowman picks up the win, keeps his Money in the Bank contract. Then you have Charlotte Flair, Becky Lynch, Carmella. This was the pop of the night, believe it or not. And I'm going to explain why. So the whole match, Carmella, she's there and she did a couple of good things. I gotta give her credit where it's due. She did the suicide dive. She had a couple of moves there. She was not a great wrestler in the match throughout, but she had some moments. Charlotte Flair and Becky Lynch did a lot of carrying, of course. And at the end, they had Charlotte Flair win. And my problem with that is, I absolutely think that Charlotte Flair is deserving. She's phenomenal, but she has had that championship now 7 times when other women have had it once or nonce. And it's like, when do you start spreading the love out? This is the problem with WWE. They go to the well one too many times, and then the fans see it, and then they fucking instantly backlash what they're doing, because it's like, come on, dude. 7 fucking championships that she's had. Becky Lynch, 1. Asuka, none. Sasha Banks, I think, has had 3. Bayley, once. Really? This is the best that fucking WWE can do? You just go to the same fucking horse every time, and when that happens, people take notice. And people were really pissed that Becky Lynch did not get the championship. They were mad. And you could tell, there were boos after Charlotte Flair won. And then, Becky Lynch turns heel. Now here's where you get the pop of the night. Becky Lynch turns heel, does heel shit. Gets the biggest face reaction of the night. That shows how out of touch WWE is. It shows how they can screw up anything. Honestly, everything since that, every Becky Lynch promo or appearance since that, doing her heel gig, has had much more face reaction than anybody else that is a face. And really anybody else on the show. Becky Lynch had the pop of the night. And I think she deserves it, and I think it just goes to show how goddamn good she can be. She's not always perfect, and I've seen her, make some sloppy mistakes in the ring before. But overall, she's good in the ring. She's very technically sound in the ring. And I really like her. So, I was happy to see her get that reaction after that bullshit. I really was. Then you get AJ Styles versus Samoa Joe. AJ Styles has got his family in the audience, and they're playing off Samoa Joe talking to the family in the audience, and that pissing AJ Styles off. They did that more than once through the match. Immediately you had TNA chants because, of course, AJ Styles and Samoa Joe had some amazing matches in TNA, and I mean some amazing matches that you just won't see in WWE. So I thought that was funny. And at the end, Samoa Joe, he's outside the ring, he's on the commentator desk, and he's talking to Wendy, AJ's wife, and he's saying, your daddy's not going to be home tonight, but I'll be your daddy. AJ snaps, grabs the chair, gets disqualified. Samoa Joe gets the DQ win, but AJ, of course, keeps the belt. And then he just goes off on Samoa Joe. And there was a part at the end where, AJ walks up to his family and goes to grab his girl. Of course, he's bleeding, and it's a little girl. So she's kind of freaked out about it and tries to go back to her mom. So that was kind of an interesting little added touch that maybe wasn't necessarily a part of what they were doing. But it was kind of nice. Then you get Elias. He's up on the ramp. He's doing his Elias bit. He goes to strum his guitar and breaks the neck. Of course, that was set up because there is no way holding a guitar like that you're going to break the neck without a lot of pressure. So you get a chance if you fucked up. Then you get a backstage Miz B-Team promo where the B-Team's saying, we just won, we're out of your shadow, and blah, blah, blah. Then you get the Miz versus Daniel Bryan. Decent match throughout. Miz, I've always said, is one of those guys can be carried by a good wrestler. Daniel Bryan is, of course, a good wrestler. And they end it with Daniel Bryan getting hit with brass knuckles that Miz got from his wife's cleavage. I don't know, man. Daniel Bryan's lost a lot. I feel like the company is just not utilizing him again. Maybe they're trying to build up the same thing they did last time, where the crowd just starts going nuts for Daniel Bryan. But I don't know, man. Things are different now. The crowds are different now. And that wasn't really that long ago. I mean, you're talking 3 years, but it seems like there's been this huge shift towards stupidity. And I think the talent sometimes gets put to the wayside. So, Miz picks up the win, and there's that match. I don't know how I feel about that, honestly. And then you get Baron Corbin versus Finn Balor. Finn Balor shows up as the Demon. They finally used the Demon gimmick again. This is something that I say that has been really underutilized, and WWE says they have the reasons. Vince McMahon, there's this rumor that he wants the Demon to go undefeated and blah, 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 but I think it's a waste of a gimmick. I really do. I think it's a waste of talent. And it kind of sucks, to be very honest. But the Demon comes out. It was very cool. It was a complete squash match. Finn Balor takes the win. Backstage, you get Miz and Brie Bella promo, which, of course, Brie Bella is going off on Miz, blah, blah, blah. Then you get Jeff Hardy versus Shinsuke Nakamura. Another squash match. Shinsuke gets the win. Very quick. I don't know, man. I wasn't a fan. Alexa Bliss versus Ronda Rousey. Complete squash match. Ronda Rousey ragdolled Alexa Bliss and then wins the belt. And there you go. It was cool in parts. You know, I like Ronda Rousey's hip toss where she adds the momentum and it looks really, really good. But, I mean, there really wasn't much to it. And then you get Roman Reigns versus Brock Lesnar. Braun Strowman immediately comes out to take the focus off of Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. Because WWE knows that no matter how this goes, the crowd is not going to react well. So they try to take the focus off the match by bringing in Braun Strowman. The match ensues. Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns kind of take out Braun Strowman. Roman Reigns pretty much squashes Brock Lesnar during this match, which I fucking hated. I absolutely fucking hated that. The crowd is not behind Roman Reigns. They're never going to be, and this kind of exemplifies that, and that's why they leave off. It wasn't terribly done. I think it was actually probably done as best as it could, considering the nature of the crowd. You know, at the end of the day, like I said, it wasn't bad. A good opening match with Rollins, Ambrose, Ziggler, and McIntyre. New Day versus Harper and Rowan was decent. The Triple Threat was decent. AJ versus Samoa Joe. I think I'll give this a 6 out of 10. It kind of surprised me in some ways. They had some good moments. They did have too many squash matches, which I was kind of surprised by. But they did bring back the Demon, which I liked. So overall, I mean, it was good. It was not great, for sure. But it was entertaining. So it kept me invested, and that's where we're at. So ladies and gentlemen, that's my review for WWE SummerSlam 2018. 6 out of 10. Good, not great. If you agree, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. If you enjoyed this, hit the like button, subscribe, and share. Kaged Nation out.